Hey folks, this is attorney Jim Terrell. And normally when I make these videos, it's usually after we've had a successful settlement or something's bothering me, like somebody's been beaten by the police and NBC, ABC, and all the other news channels are handling it. To be quite frank with you, what my favorite topics are, and I've only talked about these things in the past, is bad police shooting, bad police beatings, jail suicide, jail torture, bad police investigation, false arrest, and the gamut and the host of a bunch of activities that seem to be going on. Some of the places I love to talk about are San Bernardino County. Oh, that's for certain. Lately, in the spotlight, of course, Fontana is doing a marvelous job of coming up. And just when you think it can't get any worse, here comes Fontana, and now joined by Ontario. And that's just right in our area. But don't you feel left out if you're in Kern County, because we certainly are knowing what's going on there. And you can always get a hold of us. But you see, lately, that's not even been the calls we've been getting with this coronavirus going on. This coronavirus has changed everything. My phone is ringing off the phones because they're dragging people out of cars based on race, nationality, all kinds of stuff, or they're bored and just want to beat people up. But that's not the calls I've been getting. Lately, the police, because of the corona-19 virus, have been saying, sir, could you not speed? Because they're afraid of catching the corona-19 virus themselves, the police. In fact, the police are actually polite. They're so polite it's unbelievable. Makes you believe, well, you heard that old story is that how do people treat you? How do people treat you when you're there at a gun store? Everybody's very polite. Well, that's what corona-19 is like right now. Because coronavirus, the police have been very nice to the people on the outside because they don't want to even get near you because you could be taking out their whole family. I don't blame them. But this is the way to do business, boys. This is the way you should be doing it anyway. Now, what I cannot believe is that I've been receiving calls about Carol Baskins. All right. Now, first of all, I'm not a prosecutor. But second of all, people call me when they're upset. They like to vent. Not just me, but my partner Sharon Bruner. We listen constantly to people talking because it helps them. But not on Carol. There's something unique about Carol. I mean, if anyone was going to be charged, and you know what? I've done criminal defense work for years, and I've never liked to see anybody charged. There's a TV show about how to get away with murder, and it's fiction, but I think Carol Baskins could do her own show about how to get away with murder. And I think she could do a fine job on it because she has gotten away with murder. I mean, if it wasn't for the Tiger King, we wouldn't even know about this little murder. That's right, the Tiger King. The Tiger King has brought up a lot of issues here that I think are very, very relevant even to civil rights. All right? First of all, he has a First Amendment right to protest against somebody that's out there killing her husband. And if he wants to voice that opinion and stuff, she can go ahead and sue him like she did and such. But I think is that the authorities certainly should have looked into that. And I don't even think this lawsuit that he got against him that was based upon his trade violation of her business. It's really interesting. I don't believe that she sued him for libel and slander and went after him for saying that she killed her husband. I think they went after the fact that they were using her product, her name that she was using for the Tiger business and copying it. You'd think Carol would be more mad that she's saying that she murdered her husband and would have sued her for slander and defamation for that. But I don't think she wanted to bring attention to herself. So instead they got for trademark violations and other misuses. But by the way, where is Carol's husband? And are they really looking into her? And that seems a little unfair to me. So then we get to the Tiger King himself. We've even had a lot of discussions who should play him in a movie. People are saying Brad Pitt, or he wanted Brad Pitt. It's obviously that the man that should play Joe Tiger is the guy that played Joe Dirt. The way that they wear that mullet and the way that he talks and knows about things, that's an obvious, that's a given. Matthew McConaughey, I guess he could pull it off, sure, okay. I'd give him an opportunity, but that was not my first choice. But I would like to talk about the conviction. Oh yes, the conviction of the Tiger King. See, the Tiger King himself was talking about all the stuff he'd like to see happen to Carol Baskins, but in reality, he never hired anybody, I believe, to kill her. And the reason I say that is this: they had an undercover FBI agent come inside, and he came back with nothing to convict her. Nothing. Well, wait a minute. Professional FBI agent, undercover, goes in there, talks to him, and doesn't come back with an ounce of evidence to convict. How's that possible? Because he wasn't about to. But who does come up with the evidence? Well, that's a cast of characters that are as dirty as can be. Right? The guy that wants to take over his business is one. A guy that's got warrants and trouble with the feds and other places like Las Vegas. And all of a sudden, and a felon. And all of a sudden he says, oh yeah, he paid me $3,000 to go kill Carol Baskins. Well, one of the things I do know from working in this kind of business, one of the things I know my partner, Sharon Bruner, knows about this business, is that if you're going to go out and you're going to get involved in hitting or putting a kill out for somebody, guess what you're probably going to be doing? Calling every 5 minutes, did you do it yet? Did you do it? Or a call, it's been done. None of those calls ever occurred because he paid him $3,000 to get the thug off his property. Now, what brings this to mind is, well, how did they get a conviction? And this is where it all comes back to civil rights and what happens. See, the United States District Attorney's Office, through the Department of Justice, when they got involved in this case, knew that they could not prove that the Tiger King committed any kind of plan or conspiracy or tried to induce anybody to murder anybody for murder. So what they did is they added the animal charges, because nobody likes people that hurt animals. I certainly don't. You don't. And you're going to be very sympathetic. So they merged two cases totally unrelated. What if they had just done the case about, did he try to get somebody to commit a murder? That would have fell flat on its face, and I think if you watch the video, you'll hear her say, that's a weak case, so we had to add some other cases. So they had cases against tigers that were allegedly killed 5 years earlier. And to me, it gets down to money, getting in the right experts, doing the examination of the animals and what have you. But see, it kind of teaches you just a little bit about what the government will do to get a conviction. And the answer is the government will do just about anything. And do they add charges? Every day, right over here at the courthouses, right here, they'll come up with 16 charges. You're looking at 33 years. Or you can take one of them for 6 months of credit for time served. They stack up charges constantly. And then they turn around, and can you really fight 16 charges? No. Throw in an animal cruelty to a child. You pick up one of those other cases they can put together, and the jury hates you so much they're going to convict you. Here we got the Tiger King in jail, in prison, because they added those other charges. Now, if he did those for the animals, and I don't know that one way or the other, they did not give us very much information on that, then certainly he should be charged. And that's just a fact. But if you watch the video, you're going to see the attorney talked about combining the two charges, and it happens to people in our courthouses constantly.
Not every day.
They take one series of events and another. Now, in my opinion, they were separated by so much time and so unrelated to one another, they should never have been combined whatsoever for fair trial. That should never, ever have happened, and they shouldn't have done it that way.
I'm sure y'all got a story to tell.
Well, I just thought I'd check into you and talk to you about what's going on with the Tiger King, the coronavirus, and to let you know I'm still here. The police are still out shooting people like never before, especially in San Bernardino County. Constantly abusing people, violating people, but they took a break because they don't want to catch your coronavirus. They want to take care of themselves first.
It's Carol at Big Cat Rescue.
But if you need me, I'm here. And if you want to talk about who should play the Tiger King, I'm interested. My number is 760-561-2699. Well, stay safe, lock yourself down, and have a good day.